And it says we are live. And of course, it's Thursday night, man. It's time for GotBot Goes live. Yes, we're trying to keep things as normal, as regular as possible in these current, trying, unprecedented times. And we have a whole bunch of things to cover tonight. We're going to attend TFCon as much as anybody did. We're going to talk about some other reveals that came up. We're going to get into a little bit of Universal Collision recapping, and we're going to kind of add to our cast. New voice actor coming on. We're going to talk about what's coming up tomorrow and next week. We're going to try and have some fun here, man. We're going to try and have some fun. We're going to try and be normal. We're going to try and do what we usually do here on Thursday nights and have a good time doing it. That being said, there is a piece of news that's going to come up that I don't agree with, that I don't like the sounds of it, but I'll let you guys judge for yourself, and we'll see. Before I get into anything, as people are coming in and whatnot, I'm going to, of course, get things sort of set up like we always do here to start us off. So bear with me a few minutes. I hope you guys are doing good tonight. I hope you're, having a good Thursday evening, afternoon, evening, depending where you're to so far. Doing this. Hope you're making smart choices for you and the people around you. Go here. And kind of got to set things up a little bit here. Bear with me as I go here. I know that this is not the most exciting aspect of doing these shows, but it is a necessary one because I gotta be set up so I can interact with you guys, right? Like I said, there's a number of things here. Okay. Number of things here. Starscream Wife, of course, is in here tonight. She is live in the chat, as she usually is. And honestly, I usually rely on her to kind of like keep me in the loop a little bit with sort of what's going on, because I do sometimes have trouble kind of keeping up with everything in the chat because I'm trying to go through the news and stuff for you guys. All right, well, not good, but like I'm hopefully let friends and family know that we're gone live. Hopefully we'll have a good time of it. I'm gonna do the trivia later. Normally I do it early, but it's a little slow with people coming in and whatnot, so I'm going to kind of do that a bit later. I'm going to get a couple of little administrivia things here out of the way. First things first, I want to send a happy birthday shout out to Maximal 10 in here often. He's a great friend to the channel, and today happens to be his birthday. What a day to have it. So I hope he's having a great one, even though in my neck of the woods right now people are largely doing the whole self-isolation. When they've traveled, they're doing a lot of kind of quarantining and the social distancing and whatnot, but hopefully he's having a good birthday nevertheless. Another shout out to another friend of the channel, Cyril. You guys have heard me mention Cyril a few times. He has had a couple of surprising health issues recently, not related to the world health issue, but a couple of health issues. He's recovering, but best wishes go out to him as well. And I want to send out a shout out to another friend, Ninja Bill. Funny enough, tomorrow I plan to put up the review of this guy. It is Beast Wars Magnaboss. All three members and the combined mode. It's a bit of a hefty review for a Friday. This is on loan to me by good friend of the channel, Wayne, and I love this. I think it's pretty great, but I'm not gonna pretend that Silverbolt isn't absolutely scary. He scares the hell out of me, man. So that's gonna go up. The whole thing's gonna go up tomorrow. and you'll be able to kind of get my thoughts on that. I'd never thought that I'd get a chance to kind of look at Magnaboss, but luckily I did. Next week, my plan is kind of to do a bit of an Omega Supreme type of week and a couple of Shockwaves. So that's kind of the plan coming up. It is what it is, and luckily I have some things like that to be able to do. So that's sort of the plan coming up. Of course, I'm continuing to work on the next episode of Universal Collision, but we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. I'm just going to check in with you guys here for a few moments. I don't know what you did.
I broke it.
You broke your computer?
No, I broke YouTube.
Oh, she broke. I don't want Starscream. Why shouldn't be breaking YouTube, man? Just saying. What? Thanks. This sinus infection sucks. Oh, no fun. Oh, Dragonfly. By the way, buddy, you and I were talking, and you said that something that you had sent me was pretty close to me. Mail has been stopped here until at least the end of the week, possibly next week. I don't know when I'm going to get it. This is why I didn't order anything during this pandemic, because I quite honestly expected mail to shut down. I expect it's going to shut down in other places as well. We had a situation here. You want to talk about now how things can spread and whatnot. We had a situation here where certain, I guess, Canada Post employees attended a funeral, and there was one person at that funeral. One. And I don't know exactly how many Canada Post employees were affected, but I know that in relation to that one person, there have become 44 reported cases from one person at a funeral home. So it's not like they were just sitting around or whatever. They're at a funeral home. That's how contagious this whole thing is. One person led to 44 cases. Right? This is why you have to be smart. Okay, you can't be saying that, right? I hope that didn't pick you up. I really hope it didn't, because you need to be appropriate. I'm not, but that doesn't mean you can be dropping F-bombs out of nowhere.
All right.
Look, she's right, though. Stay home. Stay home. Because the more people go out, the longer this is going to take. And I don't know about you, man, but I'm already sick and tired of it. I want to get life back to normal, baby. Just saying. So as we go down here, our teacher for life, happy you're here as well. And happy birthday, of course, to Maximal. Who is in here? Look at that, Maximal 10 in here. I hope he was here when I gave the birthday wish to him. If not, happy birthday to you, Maximal 10. Let's see, as we go down here, a lot of hellos going on, but that's good to see as well. Okay, so we're kind of caught up there. Oh, Cybermatic Geek popping in. Hello to you, my friend. So, see, Potato Head Man, I don't understand how his brain works. God love it. I don't understand how his brain works. Okay, so we're going to go through the news and notes first. We'll get to the trivia after. Normally we do the trivia, but we're going to do the news and notes first and get that out of the way. A whole bunch of things. In Canada, it was reported this week that both the Netflix War for Cybertron trilogy packs of Megatron with Captive Lionizer and Captive Pinpointer, I guess they're supposed to be captured by him. Apparently that set has been spotted in Calgary, I believe Ontario, as well as the Hotlink trio. And I think the two Battle Masters that come with Hotlink are supposed to be reminiscent of the flamethrower that Hotlink is supposed to have. It's a nice idea. I don't so much care about the Battle Masters, but man, I want a Hotlink. We all know from my recent look at Red Wing that I adore the Siege Seekers. I want Hotlink. Give me a nice round 8 for that whole set. I absolutely want Hotlink. So if I can see Hotlink, hey, I'll pick it up. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's only if I happen to be out and happen to, be able to do a check and it's there. I'm not going to do my hunts like usual. Not now. So they have been released, something to keep an eye out for. But apparently they're the only ones yet that have been spotted here. The deluxes have not, and that leader Magnus, we assume that spoiler one, that has not been seen, not here yet. We also found out that this past week that there's another MP10 use of I don't know, it's tied with sneakers and apparel for, what is it? Atmos Duck Camo. And he has this like two-tone green camo that's broken up with pink highlights. It's the ugliest, gaudiest. I think it might be the ugliest MP10 Prime I've ever seen. To be fair, I think that the sneakers and the clothes are also ugly. Like camo green and pink, it's not a good look. It's not. I don't know. That's all. No. MP-38 Plus Burning Convoy. Now, if you're not familiar with this, it's basically a red Optimus Primal, and it's the way Optimus looked in the Beast Wars 2 Japanese film where he appeared with Lio Convoy. So it's supposed to be reminiscent of that. I don't know. Well, that's a lie. I do know that I have seen it once, but like when I think of Optimus Primal, that's not what I think of. Do I think that that's going to be like a hot seller? Not really. No. That's an extremely niche fan that will want that. Now it'll trust me. There are people that'll want it. You probably want it, but I think that it's a very niche fan that's going to want that particular repaint. Nevertheless, we saw more images of it. If you like that Optimus, cool. If you didn't like that Optimus, don't think this is going to change it for you. Going down again, and apparently he's ready to ship, but like again, like I told you here, like our mail is suspended at the moment. I wouldn't order anything now and trust that it's necessarily going to make it through your mail system, because it may very well not. I don't know. Do you trust your mail? It is what it is, right? What else do we have? Jada Toys showed off their super deformed G1 Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. I don't know if these are statues or if they're like posable or what. I don't know. If you're into super deformed, cool. I like what Jada does. I don't think it's for me. I like the vehicles that they've done. I assume that it might be die cast. I don't think there was a whole lot of detail on it, but it's out there, man. It's a thing. We saw more Siege Nemesis Prime in-box images. He's around. It's definitely a premium price. He's a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive, I do believe. He looks great. The Siege Optimus mold is fantastic. This is a great use of it. And some people have even put that cab with the trailer that came with the Power of the Primes, Nemesis Prime, that black trailer, and that looks cool together. Honestly, I think that looks pretty good together. I don't know if it's necessarily worth hunting down and paying a huge premium for, because at the end of the day, it's a Voyager that's black, and it's good, but I wouldn't go crazy for it. And like, I like Nemesis Prime. I'm down for an update to it, but I don't want to spend like, $110, $120 Canadian for it. I've seen it in one spot for like $80 Canadian, but it's sold out. Even that, like, it's a Voyager, man. I think I'll wait for it to go on sale. Not that I think it's going to go on sale, but like, it's beautiful for what it's worth. What else did we have? We saw Cyberverse Scout Bumblebee, and this is a remold, and he has like the Hive attack or something, and Wheeljack, and I think Wheeljack might be very similar to Dead End. If you like Dead End, man, maybe you like Wheeljack. If you didn't like Dead End, you're probably not going to like Wheeljack. What else do we have here going down? We saw more images of Scrapeface. I mentioned the Netflix lads earlier, of Scrapeface. I like the metallic paint, but it just looks like a weird colored reflector to me. It's not for me, but it's beautifully painted. I'll give credit where credit's due, especially the blue and the red. I think the gray might be a little heavy-handed, but it does look good. There's no doubt about it. We saw, of course, Hotlink I mentioned. I'm not in for Decepticon Mirage. That's not working for me. It'll be interesting to see the story, but I don't think that's not what I think of when I think of Mirage. It's a great mold. If you're in for Decepticon Mirage, it'll probably be right up your alley. It's not for me, but I totally understand if it's for you. So it was nice to see. We also saw more images of Double Dealer, and he looks fantastic, man. The more I see him, the more I think, yeah, he looks really good. We already know he can take both of his minions in his chest. And now we know he also has a base mode. And I think it's a nice looking base mode, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think it works. I think it works really, really well. What else did we have here this week? Because there was like a whole bunch. Like, surprisingly, this was a busy week. We also know that the TFCon Orlando shirt is up for sale. If you want the merch for the event that didn't happen, they should have done with those shirts what the WWE did with the WrestleMania shirts, with the WrestleMania 36 shirts, where it's I wasn't there, and that's what they're selling. Right? Like WrestleMania, I wasn't there. Like, you know what? You might as well have fun with it. You might as well play it up, right? I get it, though. The shirts were already done. Like, you got to offload them. It is, you know, it is what it is. They got them. They're going to try and sell them. And you can't blame them for that. You know, they're obviously really being put out by this. It's a huge loss for them. They're looking, you know, for some support. And I understand that. I get that. And we also had unveiled this week, I think this is interesting. Imaginarium Art showed their Devastator statue, and they said, guys, you're going to have to open up some room for this big boy. And indeed, that's very true, because he is going to be 105 centimeters tall. That's big. Like, that's really big. That is about 41 and a half inches tall. That's huge. Furthermore, apparently the base is going to be 105 by 94 centimeters. I think the base is 94 centimeters. So even the base is about 37 inches. That's gigantic. Now, don't get me wrong. For a statue, it looks mind-blowing. It's definitely stylized. It's definitely Studio Ox. So you have to want a Devastator that looks like that. But the detail is mind-numbing. He would absolutely be a centerpiece for anyone that's in for that. I'm sure he is a hefty price tag. And remember, he's a statue. But it's undeniable, the love, the detail, and the planning and the art that went into it. There's no doubt about it. It is gigantic. Transform Element showed off their Scorponok. We actually saw Scorponok. Now, we'll sort of touch on him again when we talk about TFCon. But we've actually seen like the plastic prototype alongside their Legends Black Arachnia, and apparently their Legends Rat Trap. I didn't even know that existed. They look fantastic. I don't have them. I've heard nothing but good things. I have faith that they're done very well, and I think Scorponok will be done very well. He's not colored yet, but the molding looks super duper true to form. I think it's going to be an absolute knockout. And you know what? I can see the logic for getting a bunch of Legends-sized Beast Wars characters, because if you go back to the show, they're actually significantly smaller than the like G1 characters. Like when Optimus Primal meets Optimus Prime, or the body thereof, like, man, he is significantly tiny. So I could see somebody going all in on the Legend size for that. I absolutely would understand that. Think it looks amazing. If you're in for it, I think you're making a smart choice. I think they're that good. What else did we see? We saw that Cyberverse Season 3, Episode 2 has been released and shown. Again, some places have seen the whole thing. I've seen the whole thing. But for those who haven't, I hope you're keeping up on it. And if you never gave Cyberverse a chance, now is the time. I know it's ending, but Season 3 was good. It was good. And I loved some of the characters that they introduced. We also saw in-hand images of Studio Series Sentinel Prime. Man, like, he looks like he jumped out of the movie. Absolutely. He does have kind of a big cape on his back. And the one thing that I am curious about, because they show him in both modes and a number of poses, but his hips only seem to go out like so far. Like, they don't go out a whole lot. And I wonder if there's an articulation limitation there for the sake of the molding accuracy. I don't know, but I'll be interested to see more of it. He does look like, if you have a different Sentinel Prime, I think this would replace it, because this looks perfect. How will it function? I don't know. Maybe it'll be crap. I have no idea, man, what it'll be like. But I guess we'll live and learn, wait and see. We also saw from Studio Series Overload. I don't know what he's supposed to be. Somebody told me before what his weird, gangly, weird truck thing is. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. And somebody told me what it was, and it was like a hydraulic. So I don't know. He's a weird vehicle. He's a weird robot. I think he necessarily has to be that for the combined mode. He's really cool. If you're in for Devastator, I mean, I think he's one of the stronger members. I don't have any of the Devastator components, but I would definitely like to take a look at them. And if you're informed, man, I totally understand. I totally get it. Okay, so I'm going to check in with the comments. I know you guys have been chit-chatting here a bit. I'm going to check in with you guys because I know I've rambled on a bit. And then we'll kind of get back and try and get stuff done here and out of the way. I just have to go back to the right point. Boss Gunny, happy you're here, buddy. And I know I'm back a little bit, guys, so bear with me as I get caught up. Let's see. Going down. What about nacelle? I'd be down for a nacelle, Boss Gunny. I'd be down for a nacelle. I need pinpointer for my crosshairs. I just use Treadfoot. Is that his name? Trenchfoot. The one that came with the G2 sideswipe and slam dance. That guy, he's my pinpointer. I'm cool with that. But at least this would give you an excuse. That being said, Dragonfly, do you really want to get the Megatron and the Lionizer just for him? Here, the whole set retails for $60, and I see the value of it. I think that's appropriately priced, to be honest with you. I want Hotlink. You know, I'll take the two little things if I got to, but like I think it makes sense with the Megatron. Like I have that Megatron once. Some people have that Megatron twice already. I have Lionizer. I don't really need another one. I don't know. If you're in for it, man, good for you. I'm so excited for the upcoming series. I absolutely am so excited for the upcoming series as well. I can't. It's going to go by too quick because we know that first season has like 6 episodes or whatever it is of like 20 minutes each. You're going to sit down, you're going to marathon it, in a couple hours it's going to be done, and you're going to have to wait for like a year for the next one. But I expect it to be done well. I have faith in Polygon. Let's hope they don't disappoint, man. Definitely, a lot of people want pinpointer. Input, happy to see you here, my friend. Yeah, I feel the same about Scrape Face. Yeah, like it's not that it's a fine mold. It's great. I don't think I need it. As I go down here. What is going on here? Technical issues, guys. Bear with me a moment. As we go down here. Can't wait for Double Dealer. Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that. Lambo Slayer, nice name, man. Nice name. MWG, happy you're here, buddy. Not yet. Didn't realize for order. Autocorrect Primer, happy you're here. Why am I having trouble with this? There we go. Absolutely doing good, ACP. We're holding down the fort here, baby. Holding down the fort. As we go down again. Quintesson, what are your thoughts about the studio series? Wait, and I don't even know what Studio Series Wave 10 is, honestly. I'd have to know what's in that wave. And I went down too farther.
Wow, I think I'm looking for my client.
Yeah, my stuff is acting up here tonight for whatever reason. 18 plus Transformer show with gore, violence, and mature themes. Why do you need gore? Like, why do you need that, Cybermatic Geek? Just a good story. I don't need none of that. I just need a good story, man. I don't know. I don't need that. I just want a good, mature, in-depth story with good, deep characters. Boom. Not hard. It's not rocket science. Only 3 away from SS Devastator. Well, buddy, I hope you get him soon. News of this week seems to be Diamond Distributors. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Diamond Distributors absolutely doing the right thing. 100% the right thing. I absolutely agree with that. There's another company doing something that I absolutely don't agree with. We're going to get to that when we get to the business. Input has that Megs 2 times, right? Yeah, I'm like you, Input. I think I'm going to watch that show a ton of times. No, we do not need Masterpiece. Nothing with me. I don't even. If I was going to be anything, I would want to be part of the War for Cybertron trilogy. I don't want to be Masterpiece because they break. They're trash. There you go. Don't even feel bad about it, man. Look, man. I'm trapped in the house. What do you want? I'm not going to feel bad about it. Have that Megs already? Yeah, there you go. So, okay, so we're going to get into what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? We'll do the trivia next, man. We got enough people here to do the trivia. I haven't done the trivia. Of course, good friend of the channel, Dragonfly, provided us with our trivia question tonight. In what series did they introduce the Cybernet Space Cube? In what series did they introduce the Cybernet Space Cube? Was it A, G2? Was it B, Victory? Was it C, Headmasters? Or was it D, Zone? Was it G2, Victory, Headmasters, or Zone? Which one introduced the Cybernet Space Cube? While you guys ponder on that for a moment, I'm going to very quickly go through the business pages. We're going to get the business pages out of the way because there's some good and some not so good here. The good, and there's only a couple of brief points here, to be honest with you. The good, it was just mentioned by MWG that Diamond comic distributors are cutting back on their distribution. They're not going to be shipping stuff for a while. I absolutely agree with it. Nobody needs to be going out and getting comics. You should be staying home. Simple as that. No, like when people go out now, should be going out for only essential items. You don't go out looking for comics. Don't go out on toy hunts. Don't go out just looking around. No, that's not what's going on in the world. Get in the game. There's a new norm, man. Get on board, because the longer you're not on board and trying to buck the system, the longer this garbage is going to go on for. Play the game, follow in line, do what healthcare providers and whatnot are saying to do. Healthcare professionals are saying to do because they know better than we do. So I absolutely agree with what Diamond Comic Distributors is doing. Then there was something with IDW about like final order cutoff returns. Like they put out this notice of what they're doing in response, and it was all gobbledygook, gibberish, nonsense, garbage. What in the hell IDW are talking? I don't like IDW. They're not good. I wouldn't invest in them personally. I don't have faith in them. And what they said in their statement did not speak to fans. It was a bunch of corporate gobbledygook nonsense. Nobody cares about your stupid business. They care about what you're doing for the fans, for your fans, for the people purchasing your product. And then the one that disgusted me. This man, I think this man's gross. Brian Goldner disgusts me every time he opens his stupid mouth. And he said on CNBC, he said that our China factories are almost up. Shut up. The last thing you should be doing is saying that and saying that, let's see, we're looking forward to putting more product out in the market in these trying times to entertain people at home. Really? Really? Because you know that there are people that are addicted to this stuff, and as addicted as they are to any sort of, substance, and they will actually go out and make poor choices and dangerous decisions and go on toy hunts for your junk that can wait for 6 months until this is done. There's no need to be opening those factories in China. There's no need to be making your junk and trying to ship it out when a lot of the world is closed. And then you have like the administration in the US saying, hey, we're going to be open by Easter. If you do that, it's going to be a disaster. Don't. Even if the government there wants you to go back to work, don't. Stay home, because if you do, it will be exponentially worse. That's not just me harping on it. That's what the world and healthcare professionals are saying. Don't. Stay home. That's the world. That you anybody in any country, that's what they're being told. Several countries now on lockdown. We've topped over 500,000 cases. Stay the hell home. There's my rant. I think Goldner should be ashamed of himself for saying that. He's thinking about pocketbook. He's thinking about money, and he's saying, I have to please the investors. That's not what you should be thinking about now. Greed and money grubbing is not what you should be thinking about now. What you should be thinking about now is your fans, the longevity of your fans, and putting them first and putting their safety first. The more he talks, the more disgusting of a human being I think he is. And I don't even feel bad about it. I respect Diamond Comics. I don't know what the hell IDW is talking about. Shut up. There's more important things than your gobbledygook. And Brian Goldner should be ashamed of himself. I don't know how the man looks in the mirror. Yeah, that's the truth, baby. That's my view on the business pages. Then we get to TFCon. I feel bad for the TFCon lads because they try to put on a show for the fans. They're trying to expand. They're trying to do shows all over the place. On the good side, one for October has been confirmed, I think, in Chicago. I don't know what will happen with the one in Toronto. We'll see. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with SDCC yet. But they made the best that they could. They're still trying to sell their shirts. If you can go in on it and support them, like, do it, man, because this is a big shot to them. But we did get the reveals. We did get the third-party panel. Now, I'm going to check in with you, but that's definitely having a visit to TFCon. That's going to be our next thing for sure. But I'm going to check in with you guys first. Let's see, going down here, and I'm sorry, guys, that I went off on a rant there. I apologize for it, but like I feel like people aren't taking it nearly as seriously and being fed a lot of misinformation. And personally, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to normal life. I don't want this to go on longer than it has to. Maybe you do. I don't know, man. Going down. I jumped down again. Ain't got to jump down, man. Ain't got to jump down. That jumped down a lot. Holy moly. Like the last thing I should have with... I would be in for Scrape Face if he had a different head sculpt. You know what input? I might be too, but like it's just the repaint. It's reflected on cosplay, you know? Would like to see more diversity with the Target Masters. Yeah, I agree, Boss Gunny. I would like to see that too. An input agreed with that. I wish Hasbro used the Takara mold for the Takara Legends figures. Absolutely input. I don't know why they didn't. Those molds already exist. Let's see. To be fair, I find story and characters to be more important than the action. Absolutely. Right? I want something I can sink my teeth. Now, don't get me wrong. I want some action too. But if it's nothing but action, then I feel like there's no depth of story and you get lost in the action. It's all this like, it's all about the strategy. There's no time for character development if there's nothing but action. There's no time for relationships to develop. There's no time for a sense of foreboding to, like, you know, develop if it's nothing but action. It shouldn't be devoid, but there should be a balance between the two, man. See, Gore's needed to bring back Face Taker Optimus. Don't like Face Taker Optimus. He's more of a inspiration and a father figure, not a savage. Nick, happy you're here, buddy. As we go down, I feel like the so many few places to shop other than having to travel. Optimism. What? I live in the sticks, so few places to shop other than having to travel. See, I wouldn't don't travel. And even now, I'm not even going to say don't, I'm not going to say don't do a check. Dude, if you're out because you got to pick up milk and eggs and butter or whatever, fine. Go to Walmart, do a check. Even if you're next door to it, you want to go and do a check, fine. But don't touch anything. Stay away, social distance, stay away from people. Just be wise. That's all. Just be smart about what you're doing. That's all for you and for everybody around you. I want you to be safe, man. That's why I harp on this, because I want you to be safe. As we go down here, MWG guesses G2. G1. Nice. A. Starscream Wife says A, and the answer is A. G2. Good for all of you. She gave into the peer pressure again, and it served her nicely tonight. Nick, he also guessed A. Good for you guys. You guys are so smart. I'm always so impressed with you. It was not shattered glass, but I'd like some more shattered glass. I'd be down for that. Hey, Ty, happy you're here, buddy. Just sent Ty a few lines. Ty, of course, as many of you know, is our Predaking, our Transformers Prime version of Predaking. If you didn't catch Universal Collision Episode 7, Monsters and Beasts, that's where Ty made his debut, and it kind of turns the story on its ear so far. A lot of people have messaged me privately and said they absolutely did not expect that to be the case when they got back to the coordinates in space where Cybertron should be. So I'm glad I was able to at least surprise some people, and there's a lot more to come with it. I also, since we're, I was going to do the TFCon stuff, let's just get this out of the way because we might as well. Since we're here, very quickly. Hey, you were right. Yeah, so was everybody. In episode 7, we largely saw the enhancement, we'll say, of Unicron's forces, and he himself got a little bit of an update of where things lie. We found out a little bit more of the relationship between Megatron and the Fallen. Megatron not real comfortable with it, and we found out that in space where Cybertron should be, it's not there. Instead, we have the planet Orocris, which has a completely different dynamic on it. And by the end of that episode, we have at least one character who is now probably feeling pretty embittered, probably going to be seeking a little bit of revenge. As we head to episode 8, I also want to remind people, even if you watch the episode, that don't forget, in orbit, we have Bludgeon and his crew aboard Tidal Wave, and we have Overlord's entire crew aboard Overlord. So they're in orbit getting ready to land. Episode 8, it's going to be called Overlord's Onslaught. So take that for what you will. We do have a new cast member joining the team in episode 8. Our very own Input will now be the voice of Double Dealer going forward. I'm thrilled to be able to add him. A couple of people have expressed interest about characters or roles. Here's usually what I say. We can talk some business. I don't promise anything. It really depends on if a character comes up and I feel like, hey, such and such or so-and-so probably has a voice or can come up with a voice that would match that character. It kind of has to take me in the moment. So I appreciate all the interest. I try and do what I can. It's still a process that I'm learning. And there's some people that, right now have done their roles and they're waiting to see if I come up with something else. And I don't know if I will or if I won't, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to come up with something for them. I'm just going to check in with you guys here again, because I know I got off track there. Yeah, Nick Bill's Lego formers, by the way. If you haven't checked Nick's Lego formers out, check them out. They're actually pretty good. I have Mixmaster. Took me forever to find him. Ninja Bill has Mixmaster too. You know, a couple of shout outs here tonight to Ninja Bill. He has Mixmaster too. I think that's supposed to be going up sometime soon. The review of that's supposed to go up sometime soon. Haven't seen any of the Earthrise Deluxes except Cliff Jumper. That's a shame because that's the one deluxe that I'm not a huge, particularly big fan of. Going down. Brian Goldner is all about business. Yeah, I agree. He should have kept his mouth shut. Like, even if I was invested right now in Hasbro, I would sell my stock like that because I feel like the public relations backlash that could potentially come from the bad decisions that people will make after what he said is going to be a public relations nightmare. Him saying that their factories are getting up and going and him saying that they're going to be pumping out more product is encouraging people to do exactly the opposite of what the government is saying about staying home. I think that it's reprehensible, absolutely reprehensible. And if your job, like Boss Guy just said, my job doesn't allow me to stay home, that's different. If your job don't allow you to stay home, you know what? I have nothing but respect for you. Absolutely. Everybody talks about saying a huge thank you to like first responders and whatnot, and nurses and doctors. But you know what? There are people out there that are city workers. There are people out there that are working in retail. There are people out there that are like cooks and chefs and working at restaurant stuff. And what? And truckers that are bringing the products that we need, that we rely on. Pilots, you know, like there's a lot of jobs that are absolutely essential that are going on. And you know what? You have absolutely nothing but my heartfelt thank you and my respect because the world needs you. And I appreciate the, like, I'm not going to say necessarily added stress, but like the added attention to detail that you must be doing just in your daily life going around. You know what? Bless you, man. That's the best I can say. Ninja Bill, 2 shout outs to Ninja Bill, and he's in here now. Look at that. A lot of small comic shops are going to die since they were already in bad shape. Then Diamond will die after them, and maybe digital comic book prices will fall. I don't expect none of that to happen. I believe that we are, and this is only something that's evolving in my mind now. I think that as this evolves and goes on, that what you're going to see, hopefully, is government stakeholders and even private citizens all involved come to a realization that, you know what? This is going on for not days, not weeks. This is going on for months. What we need to do is try and insulate everyone and as many businesses as possible for now until this is done, so that when it's done and the world opens for business again and life starts to get back to normal, that generally, as much as possible, everyone is as unscathed as they can get. And I think you're seeing governments around the world announce measures now. I think that this is only a first wave of measures. I think more is going to come. More is going to have to come because what they've announced so far is not going to be enough for the duration that this is going. I look, for example, at a place like New York, and New York is, I'm sad every time I read news from there. They're going to need more than what has been announced so far. Absolutely. Or you're going to have an even bigger problem on your hands. So I don't think that's going to happen in MWG. I guess it could, but I think that steps are going to be taken because this is a completely different, absolutely unheard of before situation. Going down, Nick, I just got to read up all those comics. But on the website, yeah, a lot of people can do that as well. I mean, even movies are being pushed back or they're being released to places like streaming services, which I think is a good idea. If you can't go in theaters because they're closed, I can't speak for where you live, but I know here theaters are closed. If it's not essential, which is basically groceries or a restaurant for food, and even that is just like drive-through. Basically, if it's not essential, it's ordered closed. It's not allowed to be open now. Trump is a moron. Don't listen to him. Yeah, I don't know why they keep letting that man talk. I really don't. They shouldn't. He's making everybody look so bad. Have been pandering to small shops instead of trying to get the comics in more retailers. And maybe Diamond has been doing that. And maybe they should go to bigger retailers. But right now, I don't think anybody should be doing anything. Comics are not a necessity. Nobody needs them. Leave them be. Going down here. Maximal 10. Reflector cosplay. Ninja Bill. What have I missed? A whole bunch, buddy. But we're still not done because we still got to go through TFCon. We still got to do our visit to TFCon. Optimus Prime SP. I hope everyone stays safe. Me too. You know what? I've said for a long time that I consider us a community. I consider us friends. I really do. And I would be very sad to hear that something bad befell any of you. I really would. I appreciate, when I say I appreciate you giving me some of your valuable time, man, I'm not kidding. It is as sincere as I can possibly be. And you guys know by now, man, that like I'm not apologetic and I'm sometimes not a nice guy, but if I'm telling you that, you can take it to the bank, baby. Going down. Abdullah, happy you're here, buddy. Yeah, actually, it's funny, input. I just today, I finished the scene with those lines, and I just sent Ty his next set of lines. Like, it's interesting. The behind the scenes stuff is what is really interesting. And honestly, in episode 7, one of my favorite exchanges and scenes, I wasn't involved in as a voice. One of my favorite exchanges and scenes is when Predaking is talking to the Oracle. And I thought that, like he recorded his lines, Starscream wife recorded her lines, and I just put it together, and I thought that they played off each other so incredibly well. So incredibly well. Okay, so we're through the good and the bad of business. We're through.
Are you talking about me?
I was talking about you, yes.
You were saying good stuff?
I was saying good stuff, absolutely. We've gone through kind of the teaser for episode 8. All I'm going to say for now for the teaser for episode 8 is Overlord's Onslaught. That's going to be the title of the episode. And right now, honestly, if there's anybody who knows a little bit more about it, it would be Input and Ty, because at least they've had a few lines. But that's about it so far. So TFCon Orlando, and we had the reveals, the slideshow, and there's some interesting things there, baby. So we're going to start off right away. Zeta unleashed and unveiled their movie Blitzwing. Looks like the movie. Looks fantastic. I would like to say, hey, I have high hopes. I think it's going to be terrific. But then I think of Kato, and I think of Deluxe, and I think of that Bumblebee and Pioneer, I think his name is, and like how trash it was. Looks beautiful, but hot garbage. I hope the Blitzwing is better for those that are into the movie line. Kind of doesn't matter to me. I'm not in for it anyway, but like I hope that it's better for people that are in for it. Then we have Lemon Tree. They were there, showed off actually a ton of stuff, and Lemon Tree seems new. I don't know who they're affiliated with or where they came from, but they did show off a movie Prime. Looks absolutely beautiful. I don't know the size, but it looks stunning. It comes with a ton of interchangeable hands. They also showed off a movie Starscream that also looks beautiful. It looks like Starscream from the movie should look. Oddly, they had a green colored cone head, but it's like the cone was not on his head, but behind his head is how it looked to me. Now, I've heard him called Acid Storm. I look at it and I think green cone head, and I think more like Armada Thrust. I've been calling him Armada Thrust. I don't know, but it's generally with the wings in a different position and stuff. It looks like it would fit with the Starscream, and I think that makes sense. I think they look great. They showed off their Shockwave that turns into the Nemesis ship. Interesting take on Shockwave, but we're also going to be getting a movie Shockwave from Lemon Tree. We saw a silhouette of that. I don't know how it'll turn out. We'll see. We saw a movie Ironhide that to me looks a lot like the Fall of Cybertron Ironhide. It looks really good. I don't know how it'll function, but it looks great. And we saw their movie Soundwave, their B-movie Soundwave. And again, looks stunning. Lemon Tree blew me away. I don't know if these renders will, I think they were all renders, will translate well in plastic form. I assume that they're transformable. If so, and therefore a reasonable price, I think that Lemon Tree could really be onto something special here. Then Banana Force, because you know we have a whole fruit salad going on. Banana Force was there. Now I know that theirs are non-transforming. They showed their Blackfire Convoy, or sorry, Blackfire Convoy. I talked about him last week. It's based on that Lucky Draw one that had like 6 made. Again, looks beautiful. They also showed an RID Magnus, looks good, as well as their Die Atlas that looks amazing. Love it, as well as their Ginrai, or Jinrai if you prefer. Honestly, Die Atlas and Jinrai I think are mind-blowingly good. Really, really good. They're non-transforming, so you have to be cool with that. So if you're cool with that, I think you'd be happy. They're fan-freaking-tastic, man. Absolutely. Transform Element was there. They showed off their movie B. It looked stubby and kind of chunky, but like it looked like it would be fun, to be honest with you. And I would hope that it is. They also showed off their Scorponok, who I think is going to be a real standout. I think they're on to something with their Beast Wars, with their Legends Beast Wars. And I don't think anybody else is doing it. So like it's a good idea, man. Go for it. Kang Toys or Gang Toys showed their dive bomb, or at least sketches of their dive bomb, highly stylized. It might be Studio Ox. Looks beautiful, and a silhouette of their Predaking. Some people have said it already looks outdated. My Predaking is the Unique Toys one, which I love, even though it definitely has its issues. But I love him, especially for the price I got him for, which is basically a Combiner Wars price. I'm interested to see if somebody can create something comparable but sturdy. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I want to see more, but like I'm looking at it with skeptical optimism, if that makes sense. Then we done all of that. That's 2. And that brings us over here. Sorry, I had to get my thing straight here. Gigapower was there. They showed off another repainted slag. Okay, Gigapower, we get it. You do nice Dinobots, man. It looks beautiful, but show us, like, what have you done for me lately, baby? You know, I'm just saying. Fans Hobby was there. I love Fans Hobby, man. They showed off their Minerva, stunning. Their Siren, stunning. Both of them fantastic. They showed off an add-on for Double Evil. I think it's Double Evil for their Overlord, or an add-on for an Overlord. I think it's Double Evil though. Looks great. And then they showed off this Armada Prime. It's not for me, but if you like that Armada Prime, then and that's what I think they call him Naval Commander. Then and some people have said that it's more of a War Within type of thing. I think it's Armada Prime though. Looks amazing, and the functionality is almost endless. I mean, it's him, it's his trailer. They combine into this big super mode. The trailer can become a base. He comes with I don't know who the little guy is. I assume it's a Minicon, but I have no idea who the little car is that comes with him. If somebody knows, comment, because I don't know. I don't know Unicron Trilogy stuff that well. But I did see the trailer in like a base mode with a bunch of Micromasters to it. Like, it's at a site. It's really at a site. It's above and beyond what they needed to do. And I absolutely respect them for it. New Age. We'll do New Age next. You know, I mean, I recently put up the KBB version of Bumblebee, which is based on Flipper. I already knew Flipper was fantastic. Somebody said to me, like, oh, that shouldn't exist because it's a KO. But I don't tend to mind it if it's serving 2 different markets. And like, I was never in for New Age Flipper because it's not a size class that works for me, but I was totally in for the KBB upsize version. So like, New Age never lost a sale because I was never buying that one. And KBB managed to get a sale because it fit in my collection better. So I don't mind it if it's serving, I think, 2 different market segments. Fans Toys was on hand. Now, you know me, I'm not a huge Fans Toys fan. They showed off their Soundwave. It's very clean. It was a nice render, though I feel like in tape deck mode, the front looks a little too small, arguably. All of his tapes are there. I like that they come with the pile drivers. The Frenzy Rumble comes with the pile drivers. I like the look of the Laserbeak. Again, they look beautiful. I assume the engineering and the transformation is going to be hot garbage because they're not good at doing those transformations. They look beautiful. You want something to display, man, go for it. I've also heard a lot of people say that they're very happy with their MP sound wave and the MP tapes, so they may just stay with it. So I don't know. I have no idea. Their Tesla, I think it is 2.0, their new Perceptor looks stunning, looks amazing. Love everything about it. Love that he could do all 3 modes. I've heard that the old one has a tendency of having the arms break off or something. Hopefully this one doesn't. I'm not surprised the old one breaks. Again, it's probably over-engineered. Their Huffer, it looks good. It looks like Huffer. It's arguably a simplified sculpt because there's not a ton of detail in it, but it looks fine. It looks good. Their Jazz. Now, for somebody like me, and I've always been hard on fans' toys, their Jazz blows me away. I think it's the perfect Jazz. Perfect. Blew me away. And their Mirage, I think it's perfect. I shudder to think what the transformations are like. But for looks, I think they look perfect. When will they all come to light? I don't know. Like their release schedule is pretty messed up. MMC was on hand. They showed off their Death Saurus. Looks gorgeous. I have no doubt that it's going to be fantastic, even though it's also very busy looking. So it's not going to be for everyone, especially in it's like dragon mode. It looks real busy looking. There's a lot going on there. We saw an IDW Chrome Dome and Rewind. Not for me. I don't like either design, but if you're a fan of the comics, you're probably going to like it. If somebody didn't tell me that it was Chrome Dome and Rewind, like I wouldn't have really known. Well, I would have known Rewind, but I wouldn't have known Chrome Dome at all. Ravage and the Shattered Glass Ravage. The Shattered Glass Ravage, of course, is a version of an exclusive. There you go. It's an exclusive. It's a great mold, fantastic mold, as is the Protoform RC. We talked about that last week. And then I saw that apparently they announced Assaultus and had a picture of their Bruticus, but I didn't see the picture of Bruticus, so I don't know if he was there. So I'm just going to check in with you guys here now again for a few minutes. Okay. And then we come to the last thing, man, and it is O1 Studio Cell. We finally saw it with his head, and we saw like a bunch of different poses and stuff. I'm blown away. The more I see it, the more I adore it. And then I heard people talking about it. And they were like, "Yeah, but he's still $400." Where? Go to Show Z store. He's $259 American. There you go. I don't know what you guys have seen, but I don't know. But he's not $400. Honestly. Not that I've seen. And take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth. And hold on here. I have a interesting. My chat froze up. What do you want? $400? No. The head looks stunning. The articulation is really good. Everything seems to move out of the way. And then me being me, of course, I got into a fight with somebody about, about how he looks and whatnot. And they were, of course, trying to, tout the HasLab one. And obviously the guy was like, "Oh, he's differently backed it." Well, of course you're going to try and justify it. I get it. And like, in terms of robot mode, if you look at it next to the animation, it's the right colors. It's the right symmetry. Like the circles on the chest should be symmetrical, and on the front hips should be symmetrical. They're not on the HasLab one. They are on the Cell. The head has proportional horns. I feel like the head on the HasLab one has the horns too big. It's not, again, it's one of those things like it's not for me. And you're almost comparing apples to oranges here because one is $259, the other is $575 American. If we're talking Canadian, the Cell is a third of the price. 1/3 of the price. That to me is astonishing. 1/3. I don't know. Like maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but to me, it's 1/3. Would I want to pay 2/3 more for the sake of 8 inches extra height, a gloopy Galvatron, and a gloopy Rodimus? Not for me, man. It's not for me. If it's for you, fine, because now it doesn't matter. The thing is back. It's happening. But back in September, I made my choice, and I'm still very, very, very comfortable with it. He's Titan size. Here in Canada, he's a comparable Titan price, and his functionality is amazing. The robot, has 6 abs. The HasLab one has 8 abs. The animation has 6 abs. Some people mentioned how the back looked like the front and said, that's kind of lazy. No, because if you watch the movie, the back of Unicron is like the front. He even has the 6 red abs on the back. So that's accurate. Some people said the planet of the HasLab one looks better. If you like a stylized planet, yeah, it does. But like the ring is just one clean ring. If you look at the animation, like Cell, it doesn't have all of these parts sticking off it. So I don't think it's fair really to compare the two, because I think they're servicing 2 completely different markets. And not only that, but I think they're servicing 2 completely different types of collectors. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think it was a strong TFCon. A lot of people have said it's not, but I think that there was a lot shown. Not necessarily a lot new, but a lot upcoming that I think people have wanted to see more of. Hopefully, things like SDCC and the other TFCons and whatnot in the future going forward will all happen. Hopefully we'll all be safe and be able to enjoy them. There you go. I'm done. There's another Thursday night. There's another live show. Whew. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for giving me some of your extremely valuable time. You know how very, very much it is appreciated. I already talked about that. Please, if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there's a donate link down in the description. Don't forget, somehow, some way, each and every day, you do make a difference. More important than ever now, please listen to professionals. Make smart choices for you, for your family, for your friends, and for the world around you. And I look forward, man, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams at the stop motion premieres. Episode 8 is being worked on diligently, or the old-fashioned way, man. Tomorrow, Magna Boss, the old-fashioned way. Another visit inside the videos.